Okay, we might get started. So hello and welcome to the orientation session for Criminology for students beginning in semester 2. First of all, welcome to your Criminology degree. We're really happy to have you and we're looking forward to meeting you in the next few years. So to begin with, I've been asked to play you a quick video. Let me just get the settings on this. That should be coming through their systems pretty loud, I think. All right. So it goes for about 10 or so minutes.
So my name is Michael Ewing and I'm the Vice President and Executive Dean of the College of Business, Government and Law at Flinders University. The college includes all the business disciplines. It includes international relations and politics. It includes all the law degrees and it includes criminology. So if you're studying one of those degrees, you're part of the College of Business, Government and Law. The college is partly about education, but it's about more than that too. So we have our teaching parts of the college, but we also have some research centres, and our teachers and our researchers often work together on large projects, and we engage a lot with industry as well. So it's a big operation. So welcome to Flinders. It's wonderful that you've chosen to come here. Some of you will be domestic students from South Australia, some of you will be from other parts of Australia, some of you will be from international students from all over the world. Some of you will be doing undergraduate, some of you will be doing postgraduate, some of you will be coming straight from school, and some of you will be doing it as mature age students. So there's a whole lot of different places that you're coming from, but the bottom line is that you're all here to start to study in the College of Business, Government and Law. And of course, the other bottom line is that this is a new phase of your life for all of you. So starting a new qualification, starting a new degree, starting a new career, these are really big decisions, and so this is an important moment, and it's an important point in your lives as you progress, and this is the start of something new, something big. There's a lot of new things that are going to be involved, and you're going to need to acquaint yourself with the university, and of course it's a complicated time to be acquainting yourself with the university because the last couple of years with COVID, it's really changed things fast, and of course the way in which we do higher education has already been changing a lot because of new technology and because of online delivery, but COVID has really accelerated all of that and presented all sorts of new challenges for us as educators and as researchers, and so we've had to rethink many of the ways in which we do things and many of the ways in which we work with students. And that's been difficult. It's been really tough. This has been a stressing time, it's been a difficult time. But I don't think we're ever going to go back to the old normal. The way things have changed, some of those changes will be embedded in the future, and so it does mean that the way in which you learn to be a student and the way in which you prepare yourself for your new career will be different from the way in which it's happened in earlier times, and that presents particular challenges. So look, just a couple of tips. First of all, whatever you do, take advantage of every opportunity that comes your way as you're coming on board. This is a kind of moment of re-socialisation and preparing yourself for a new discipline, preparing yourself for a new career. And there are a lot of opportunities at the moment, so take advantage of every one of those opportunities. Make sure that you don't get behind. Start off strongly, and then you can kind of make sure that you build really strong foundations. I mean, it's sort of obvious, but it's easy to get distracted. It's also easy to get a little bit scared when you're starting something new. So make sure you start strongly. And no less important, when you come into a new environment, it's kind of the moment that you're most open. It's the moment you're most open to new ways of thinking. It's the moment you're most open towards making new friends. And when you start a new place, really, I can't stress strongly enough, meet as many people as you are able to. By meeting as many people as you're able to, you'll extend your networks, and so much learning occurs through peer learning. So much learning occurs through talking with other people, sharing ideas with other people, and that's how a lot of learning actually occurs. So meet lots of people, extend your social networks, make them as wide as possible, and that will stand you in really good stead set as you go forward. So, look, welcome to Flinders. All the very best. I look forward to being in touch with you throughout your degree, and enjoy this time of this. You know, when you start, it's always a little bit disorienting, but it's also really exciting. So make sure you concentrate on the exciting bit. All the best.
Welcome to Flinders University. My name is Jenny Clark and I'm an Enrolment Course Advisor. This is my colleague, this is Samantha Di Francesco, and she's an Enrolment Course Advisor in the College of Business, Government and Law. Just a few points for your enrolment. If you need any help with general course advice, call Flinders Connect. You can contact them on 1300 354 633, or you can lodge an Ask Flinders request and they'll be happy to help you. 1 or 2 topics is classed as part-time, 3 or 4 topics is classed as full-time, which is a full-time study mode. If you have a combined degree, please make sure that you find the combined degree course rules, because they are different to the standalone course rules. We don't want you taking topics that are not included in your combined degree. There are also study planners on the web pages that you can search for that will give you an overview of all your degree. Again, if you need any help or support, please contact Flinders Connect. To contact me or Samantha, please lodge an Ask Flinders request and we'll be happy to help you with more general and more course advice.
A lot of our degrees have both option topics and elective topics that you can take throughout your degree. If you are unsure about which elective topics you might want to take, we do have an elective advice webpage which do put different areas of study together, which might help you enhance skills across your degree. These can be different study areas such as innovation, communication skills, or any industry experience. We do also have option topics which are more specific to the degree that you are studying. For example, if you're studying a business degree, you will do business option topics, and that will help you study an area of business that is not specific to your specialisation or your major area. Throughout your business degree, you will also be given an opportunity to potentially undertake an industry placement. This will also be within the law and legal practice, national relations and political sciences degree. For further information, you might wish to speak to your course coordinator about those specific industry experiences. To find your course rule, you can go onto the university's handbook. On here, you can find all of the topics that are offered in each semester. It is probably best to also look at a study plan, because that will help you break down which topics you should be enrolling into and when these should be enrolled.
For your enrolment, first year topics, the code starts with a 1, second year topics start with a 2, third year topics start with a 3, and fourth year topics start with a 4. Sometimes students get confused, and when they're in their first year, they enrol into second or third year topics. We recommend that you enrol into first year topics that starts with a 1.
It is important to remember when you're enrolling that you enroll into 4 topics for each semester and no more than this in your first year. This is whether you're doing a standalone degree or a combined degree. If you are enrolled in more than 4 topics, you may wish to contact Flinders Connect to see what the problem is with your enrolment. If you've received your offer and you've not yet accepted or been admitted into your course, the best way to start is probably by contacting Flinders Connect, because they can help you activate your Flinders system and help you to confirm and update your details and then enrol in your relevant topics. There are critical enrolment dates throughout your studies. The first one to look for is the last day to enrol. This is generally the second Friday of semester 1, so week 2. You can change your enrolment and your timetable up until this date. The next date that you may wish to look for is the census date. So if you remain enrolled past this date, this will go as part of your record. However, if you get up to this date and you decide to withdraw before or on the date, that won't be part of your record of study. Just to keep in mind, if you are enrolled past the census date, this is when you end up paying for the topic, and that will go to your help debt, or you may pay upfront if you are not a Commonwealth supported student. Along with paying for the topics, you also pay a student services and amenities fees, which goes to everything non-academic on campus. So that goes to things such as the library, the upkeep of the campus, and all of the amenities that you find and are able to use on campus. Please keep in mind that these are also the clubs, the health and counselling, and all other things you might be able to access online. So if you are an online student, you also are required to pay these fees. These, again, are different to your tuition fees, so you do need to submit a separate help form. So this might be something you may wish to contact Flinders Connect about if you are unsure how to submit this.
So for all you students, we have many services that are available to you. Please reach out and any member of staff will be happy to direct you to the right services that are available.
All of the health services on campus are free of charge to students, and this ranges from free health, counselling and disability support services, as well as our student learning support services, which is helping with academic support. These can be accessed through, again, Flinders Connect. They can point you in the right direction, but if you want more specific advice, you can reach out to the health and counselling and disability services directly, or again, the student learning support services.
So please reach out. You can reach out at any time of the semester. It doesn't have to be the start or near the end. Please reach out for support. If you're overwhelmed, lodge an Ask Flinders request. We'll be very happy to help you.
Okay. Alright, so that was a little intro from Michael Gilding, Samantha DiFrancesco and Janine Clark from the college. Okay, so I'd just like to let you all know that this session is being recorded for your information. And before we jump into the rest of the session, I'd like to acknowledge that we are meeting on Kaurna land, and I'd like to pay my respects to their elders past and present. Okay, so for some introductions, I'm Melissa DeVell Palumbo. I'm a lecturer in criminology here at Flinders. I'm also our course coordinator for the Bachelor of Criminology. So if you have any questions about what topics you're going to study, any issues with your progression throughout your course, or if you'd like to claim credit for prior study, you can come to me with your concerns. I am interested, my research in particular looks at how we can help people who have committed crimes rehabilitate and reintegrate into society. And one of those barriers is stigma from the community. So another part of my research also looks at how we can understand and combat social stigma around offending behaviour. So that's a little bit about me. I teach this year you'll be meeting me in Crim 1102, the criminal justice system, which will be your first core criminology topic. This is a really interesting topic. It's very broad. We're going to look at all the various parts of the criminal justice system, from police to courts to corrections and more. It's a very applied topic as well, so I do hope that you enjoy that. And I also am going to give you a tip for your degree, for your studies. And I'd like to encourage you to think not just about the destination, but also the journey of your academic career. So we're all here to get something, right? You might want to be getting a degree, you might want to get a job that you care about, but remember there's lots of opportunities along the way to really engage more deeply with the journey of study, whether that be through connecting with other people, connecting with clubs and hobbies, and we're going to talk a bit about the Student Association in a little while. There's also ways that you can enhance your learning experience through programs such as our mentoring program, which we're going to talk about as well, and all the support services that are available to you here. So you don't have to go through your studies alone. There's lots of people here on hand to help you, and I do encourage you all to make the most of your journeys, not just thinking about the destination. So now I'm just going to introduce or ask my colleagues to introduce themselves. So Jeremy and Andrew, could you please tell us a little bit about yourselves, what topics you're going to be teaching, and perhaps a top tip for first years getting ready for study. Start with Jeremy.
Thanks, Mel, and hi to everyone here. Hi to all you watching online. My name is Jeremy. and I'm a lecturer here at Flinders University, and I'm going to be tutoring criminal justice system, which Mel will be running, so I might be seeing some of you soon in those tutorials. I did my PhD here at Flinders, and for my PhD I started and produced for about 7 years, well beyond the PhD, an exhibition of art produced in the South Australian adult prison system, and looked at the way art can be an effective way of changing people's life narratives, and it also speaks to efforts to destigmatise people in prison as well. Following my PhD, I worked for a period of time, for a couple of years, at the Department for Correctional Services, the government department responsible for managing the state's prisons and people on community corrections orders. And now I'm excited to say that I'm a lecturer here at Flinders Uni in criminology, as well as teaching into criminal justice system. This semester I'll be taking a couple of third-year topics. One is an industry project, which some of you might get to do in your third year, where you're responding to real industry issues and challenges and doing some research around that. And the other one is around encountering crime through media, so really looking at the sorts of crime stories and narratives we all absorb on a day-to-day basis through the news media, through TV, through Netflix, through books, and sort of unpacking the relationship between crime and the media. And then next year I'll be taking Crim 1101, which is our intro to crime and criminology topics. So I look forward to working with you over the next few years as you do your Bachelor of Criminology. My top tip, or a tip I have for you, is you probably, as you come into your study, you've all got a story that you're telling yourself about why it is you've chosen to study a particular topic or a particular degree, a Bachelor of Criminology or Law and Society, and I want you to think about that story, and I want you to think about perhaps writing that down and connecting it into something bigger than yourself. So if you're interested in criminology, perhaps you're interested in issues of social justice, perhaps you're interested in making the world a kind of fairer, more equitable and just place. And I want you to hold on to that story, because things will get tough, things will be challenging throughout your degree and your study, and I think in those moments where you are sort of in the fetal position in bed with the quilt over your head, sort of rocking, going, why did I do this to myself? You come back to that story and you remind yourself about why it is you're doing what you're doing, and then you throw the quilt off and you get back to the desk and you smash out your essays or whatever. So that would be my tip. Think of that story, write that story down, and hold that story close to you as you do your Bachelor of Criminology. Thanks.
Thanks, Jeremy. Over to you, Andrew.
Thanks, Jeremy, and thanks, Mel, for the opportunity. My name is Dr. Andrew Groves. I'm a senior lecturer in criminology. In the same way that Jeremy is, I'm also a Flinders alumni, so hopefully that holds some weight to the sense that despite being at another institution for a number of years recently, I have come back. So I did my undergraduate honours and PhD here at Flinders, and so I can attest to the quality of what is offered here, particularly in Flinders criminology, but also the wonderful opportunities you have in Flinders. In terms of my research and my interests, typically alcohol and drug policy, so anything to do with alcohol and other drug use in South Australia, or indeed in rural areas, is where I'm currently focusing my attention. But I'm also, my research areas are also relatively diverse. I do look at victimisation and the experiences of various groups of victims, and also something a little bit left of field, looking at academic integrity, in particular contract cheating. So that's something we can have a conversation about perhaps later down the track. In terms of teaching, next year I might be teaching a couple of the first year topics, but at least for now, probably the first time that you guys will meet me will be in some second year topics. So I'm teaching topic coordinating Crim 2202, which is the policing and society topic, and I'm also teaching into the introductory research design unit, which is 2205. So I'll get to see most of you probably next year in second year. And if you're interested beyond that, I also teach into a couple of the honours topics, which is essentially the fourth year if you're doing a Bachelor of Crim degree. In terms of tips, perhaps the only thing I would say to kind of add on to what both Jeremy and Mel have suggested, because it is worth coming to university, depending on what your goal is. But for me, the biggest tip I always encourage my students to think about is keep asking why. Be that annoying 3-year-old, and don't worry, I've got one, so I know how annoying it can be. But just ask why, whoever it is, whether it's a peer, a colleague, the teaching staff, a tutor, whoever it might be, ask why and use the opportunity to make the most of your learning here at Flinders. And as I said, we've all been through it, so it's a fantastic opportunity, and I encourage you to follow your dreams in that sense. Thanks.
Okay, thanks. You can hold on to that mic, Andrew, because I think I'm going to go to you next. So let's talk a little bit broadly about the course, just to give you a bit of an overview about what you're going to be studying for the next few years. So Andrew, what is criminology all about? What do our students have to look forward to in their degrees?
It's a very good question, and one that we often talk about in various contexts. And some of you, if you've had any school outreach visits, might have heard some of this already. But one of the key features of criminology in particular is focusing on the causes and understanding of crime. So that is, why do people do certain things, some of which are labelled criminal or harmful, or indeed other things. Importantly, it's also about understanding the criminal justice system. So why it is that we respond in particular ways as a justice system, how we seek to control crime, manage individuals perhaps through the correctional system, through policing, also victims' experiences and so on. But we also look at the way in which we as a community or society respond to crime. So in some ways you could say that criminology is divided into 3 areas. That is the idea of understanding the causes and reasons or motivations for crime, how certain institutions control or manage that issue, and then equally how we as a society respond, perhaps through media, through community commentary, people's views as presented on social media, and so on and so forth.
Fabulous. Thanks, Andrew. So we do have a wide array of topics that are available through this course. Jeremy has also mentioned one of one that students look forward to a lot, industry project in 3rd year, where you can actually work on a real criminal justice issue. I'd also like to throw this over to our current students about what were your kind of favourite topics. Maybe just one of the topics you took that was particularly memorable, and why.
Well, one of the topics that I remember the most was Crim 101 back when I did it, because it introduced you to a wider perspective of what crime is and what it's all about. It just took me out of that media world I was in about crime being what we see on Netflix essentially, into showing crime into a wider scope of being different categories and different sort of areas, and it doesn't always have to be a violent serial killer running around killing people. And yeah, it's just there's more elements to it than just what we see on TV or in the media. And yeah, I have to say it's Crim 101, Crime and Criminology.
Okay, thanks, Ahmad. How about you, Chase? And I will introduce Ahmad and Chase in a moment.
I really enjoyed the industry projects topic last year, as we got to work with a bunch of different industries. I think they were the Red Cross, the AIC and corrections. So I personally worked with Red Cross on their booth that they had all set up for the students, and we all got to work as a big team, and I made connections on LinkedIn, and so they know me pretty well now, so it gave me networking for when I finish uni now. So yeah.
Excellent, thank you, Chase. And on that point, our degree is built to help you prepare for jobs. So through topics such as industry project, but also embedded through our whole program, is really the idea that we're going to be able to develop your skills to put you in a position to be competitive for a wide range of jobs in the criminal justice sector and beyond. So as you go through our degree, you'll notice that there's theory, but there's also lots of applied practice elements to what you're doing. So we hope you find that interesting and relevant.
Can I just add to that, Mel, as well?
Yes.
Just to kind of touch on both of those points. I think it's really important to acknowledge what you were saying, Chase, around the projects, because it's not just doing things for the sake of them to get a piece of paper or a degree at the end of it. It's actually about solving real world problems. And I think that's one of the particular values of criminology, is that we know that there are many problems out in the community. We see them on Netflix and other things. And it's actually about addressing some of those, or at least understanding some of them, to then make some sort of impact in the community. We talk about things like social justice, social impact, policy reform. All of those things are elements that we will help you to build towards as part of the Flinders Criminology degree.
Absolutely. Okay, so I am going to hand it over to Ahmad Umar now, who is going to speak to you about our mentoring program.
Thank you, Mel. So my name is Ahmed. I'm now a second year criminology and law and legal practice combined degree student. And I'm one of your mentors for a criminology degree. So the mentoring program is a program designed by the College of Business, Government and Law to help students getting into their uni life and adjusting to their uni programs and learning about how the uni system works. It doesn't necessarily provide you with the academic help you probably need, and you could ask for that and access it through the Student Learning Support Service, which is in the second floor of the library, the Commons. But we tried as much as possible to help you with adjusting to how the uni system works, what you need to know, what are some important information you should be aware of, and where to seek help if you need it the most. And yeah, it's gonna be available through Teams right now, or probably in person. And it's going to be some weekly sessions that you'll probably be notified about through your Flinders email. Thank you.
Great, so everyone make sure to keep your eye on your email address for more information about mentoring, and I encourage you to make use of that opportunity. Okay, so now it's over to Chase Babby, who's going to talk about the Student Association.
So, hi everyone, I'm Chase. I'm the president of FUCA, or FUCA, depends on how you want to pronounce the acronym. It's great that the uni let us use FUCA, so, yeah. I'm studying a combined degree of forensic biology and criminology, so I'm in my final year now, so I'll be finishing next July, which is very exciting. I'm probably going to be sticking around for honours more than likely. So as you can see on the screen behind, FUCA, it's a space that students can connect with their peers, as you can also have access to various careers and events and resources. So throughout the year we hold many events and hold career and academic type of events and stuff as well. Yeah, keep it.
Yep.
So some of this is for semester one. So we usually do like a first year mixer at the beginning of each semester, which is just a little get together for all the first years and also continuing students, just have a drink at the tavern, which is on level 1 of the hub. It's always nice to see everyone and connect, kind of just chill out. So we also do career nights, which with the photo up there is the lady in red is actually the main person from the Red Cross that was in the industry projects last year. So we invited them along, same with AIC and corrections. So we had a whole presentation as well for students that wasn't involved within that topic. We also do the Crim Bowl and some tours of either of the Old Adelaide Jail or the Z Ward, which is the Parkside Asylum. So as I said, we've got the Adelaide Jail tour. We also do wine tours with either the other associations within BGL or just privately by ourselves. We've done wellbeing walks and pub crawls, as we all love pub crawls. So some tips and tricks from the people from FUCA. So readings and resources. There are many resources available to Flinders students, like Studiosity and the student study learning support, the SSLS, which is up in level 2, I do believe. So definitely reach out to them and definitely do the readings. some of them are boring, but it definitely helps if you've got quizzes or anything based on them. Same with the textbooks. So they're always good if you need extra information. So
Excellent.
time management and balance. I'm definitely one for time management that I need to work on, but yeah. Anyway, so it's good to establish a balance of work in uni and study, and also social life. You need to kind of make a constant rhythm and be able to have a break from your studies so you can go to work or have a break and socialise, as you don't really want to overwork yourself and burn out too quickly. As some of us probably know, it's not fun. Start assignments early. I would definitely recommend this so you can have the maximum amount of time to work on your assignment to make it as the best quality piece of work you can. And it's always good to have the extra support like Curiosity to look over your work and have it as a draft so you know this is the best work you can present. Also make a checklist. That's always handy. Beginning of each week or each month, have a checklist down of what you really want to achieve, or you want to study, or just know from life. So,
I was always one of those people who was very skeptical about checklists, but having started doing that recently, I can vouch for how good it feels to see your progress. That's a good one.
And the final one is just to have fun. So uni isn't all about studying and getting the perfect grade. Go out, have fun, go on pub crawls, go to crim bowls well not crim bowls, but balls in general. As some industries want you to experience life skills before actually going straight into the workplace. So yeah, just do dumb stuff, experiments, just enjoy your youth before you kind of settle down. So for anyone out there that actually wants to join, there are positions available. So the email is up on the screen, or you can contact us via our socials, which is on the next slide. We've got QR codes set up, so it's easy. But I'm too far ahead. On a slide, a couple down. But so we've got easy. Yeah, cool.
Cool. Next.
So O Week, as you probably all know, is a little different this year, and so we're going to be having a club fair day next Monday and Tuesday down the hub, so you can come find us and say hi. Yeah. And there we go, our socials. So I've got QR codes set up, and if you just want to look up Flinders Fuka, that's what we need to look up. So yeah.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chase. Okay, so I just wanted to pick up on one thing Chase said in her presentation there, that university study is a full-time gig if you're studying full-time. And a lot of our students, of course, are also working part-time or full-time in some cases. So if you do find it all a bit overwhelming and you need to drop back a bit, do get in touch with either your topic coordinator or with, you can get in touch with Janine Clark, the student enrollment officer that spoke to you in the video before. And we can talk to you about maybe reducing your load a bit, because it's better to do a few things well than trying to take too much on and just falling apart at the end of the semester. So that's something that is available to you if you do want to drop down your enrollment at some point. Just let us know. Okay. So before going to that information, I might also ask, I don't think I asked you for a top tip, Ahmed, for students starting university. Any top tips for how they can be prepared?
Highlighters. They're basically your best friend when it comes to reading and outlining research. They help you a lot in outlining some material fact that you use, and yeah, they're basically heaven. You can have them from FUSA, or you can buy your own. Don't buy your own, just get the FUSA ones, they're free. Yeah, and basically try to use them as much as you can. And in terms of always having your printed research helps rather than reading it off the screen, because it helps you realize a lot of the things and a lot of the material facts that could contribute to your future assignments. And yeah, also one of the books that I would probably suggest you can get from the Flinders Library is the ABC of Criminology. Although you probably have to contact your course coordinator because it's a bit of an old book, so it might not always be reliable to use. But yeah, thank you for that. That's about all I have to say.
Thanks, Ahmed. So there are some links here on the screen for you, some important sources of information. There is a link to the Flinders O Week program. There is that Flinders Student Support. That page outlines all the support that's available to you at Flinders depending on what your needs are. Ask Flinders, you're going to hear this a lot. We're going to tell you to submit an Ask Flinders request. If you go to this website, you can type in your request or question and it goes off into the internet either and ends up at the right place magically. So Ask Flinders is your best friend for any questions you have. There's the college front page there as well, and there's also a link to the Flinders Friends program, which I believe is a new program this year. I hadn't seen it before. Chase, did you know something about that one? Please.
So the Flinders Friends program is recycled from the O Guides. So they've just renamed it, rebranded it. Basically, O Guides is the orientation guides that's been running for the last couple of years. So it's all for first year students, so they can make some friends, know what's going on campus, and just get their bearings and help with transition.
Fabulous. Sounds like a great opportunity. So if you have any questions, feel free to type them into the chat. While we're waiting for anyone to ask anything, I will also add that your flow topic pages should be accessible to you now. So every topic you take will have a flow topic page with all the information that you need to know about your topic. Some of them, bear with us, are still in the process of getting finalised, so there might not be heaps on there. Crim 1102 is more or less ready for you to have a look at, so that's a really important place to check out the flow topic page. There is also a course site available in your flow topics, so that's a site that you'll have access to throughout your studies, and that's where we send out information that's kind of broader than the topic, just about study, about criminology careers, about events that you can come along to and things like that. So do check out your flow as soon as possible. Is there something you want to add, Andrew?
Yeah, just on that, because obviously as one of the topic coordinators for semester 2, my site went live this morning. Two things to ask or encourage students to do. First of all, it kind of flows on from all of the comments that everyone made today. It's about connection. So whilst you might not physically be able to see the other person on the other end, it's a great opportunity to introduce yourself on the discussion boards, get to know the teaching staff, but also your peers. That's just kind of one thing that you can do very quickly. Just say hi, your name, perhaps your interests, where you might be, how you might be studying, what other topics you might be studying, those kinds of things. The second thing is probably more of a personal request is if you do find anything on your flow sites that isn't working, so a broken link or something that's supposedly meant to be there and isn't, let the topic coordinator know, perhaps on the discussion board or via email. It's actually a really useful mechanism to start a conversation with your teaching staff and also make sure that the material is available for all students. So yeah, hopefully that's helpful for everyone involved.
Excellent. Anything else anyone wants to add about flow? No? Okay, do we have any questions?
We don't have any questions at the moment, but if you are out there and you want your questions answered, yeah, please type in to the live Q&A chat and we can answer them.
Just wait a few minutes. What questions did you as students have when you were coming into university, do you think? What might a new student be wondering about? You can put yourself back in the perspective of a fresh student.
I can say something.
Yeah.
I could say just a little bit because I've been to uni a couple of times, and I know what it's like to come somewhere, and I remember what it feels like to be for things to feel unfamiliar, and really this is picking up on something that Michael Gilding said in the intro video, and what Chase and Ahmed have touched on today as well. And that is really, just to make friends, join clubs, join a students association, get a mentor, find people who you can support and who can support you, and so you can get a little kind of cluster of friends around you as soon as possible, because that will, that'll help make this place more familiar, more welcoming, give you a sense of, belonging, and I think that's really important as you go through your studies, to share that experience with others who are also going through that same experience.
Absolutely. Party's more fun with more than one person in it. Okay, all right. Well, I don't think there's any questions, so we might just close off the session there. Thank you for attending. Thank you to the panel for speaking to you all today. And yes, go forth, enjoy the journey, and we'll meet you somewhere along the way. All right.
Thanks.
Guys.
See you.